Well, hello there, Gemini. How are you? It is so good to see you. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. If it's your first time on the channel, welcome. It's so good to see you. So today we are doing your July career and money tarot reading. So we'll take a look first at the overall energy for the month ahead in your career and money sector, and then we'll go into details with the tarot about any obstacles on your path or how you can navigate around those in order to manifest what it is that you want. I'm also going to pull some like purpose cards. Keep in mind, like purpose is not necessarily your career, but it's the energy that you bring to your daily life, whether it's in your career or just volunteering or with your neighbors, your family, whatever, that helps you to find that sense of fulfillment in your life. And I'll also pull some business cards for those of you that have either your own business or are in a career where you're trying to expand your business or bring more success and better abundance to you. So let's get into it. Let's take a look first at the overall energy for the month. And they're really flashing transformation here, okay? And it says a fresh new way of living emerges. A fresh new way of living emerges. Okay, so Gemini, you've had this energy for some time about, having to kind of like rethink the balance in your life, like between work and play, or between the different sectors of your life, making sure that you have time to really take good care of yourself. That is part of that energy of balance, of deciding what is really important to you. And remember, Jupiter is in your first house right now. So that is an energy that will be with you for the next year. It's helping you to step into alignment for how you want to be remembered when you leave the earth, okay? And it's asking yourself, what do you want your legacy to be? How do you want to impact the world? How do you want people to talk about you, right? Well, those are all important things, questions that you may be dealing with at this time. And when you ask yourself those questions, if you have been truly focusing mostly on your career lately, right, it's kind of like, that's one sector of your life. That's not very balanced. Think about all the other sectors. We have our physical, mental, emotional, spiritual health. We have relationships. We have, the impact, the true impact we want to make on the world. We have our living environment. We have the experiences that we'd like to have through travel or visiting other countries and learning about other cultures. It's asking yourself, what are the important sectors? And it doesn't mean that we don't go through short spells, kind of prioritizing one of those, right? It's kind of like, when a mom is pregnant with a baby, she's kind of focusing on keeping herself healthy so that the baby is healthy, perhaps creating the nursery, getting ready, right? That could be the top priority for, the 9 months or a year that, the baby is on the way. It doesn't mean that we can't focus on one area, but it's also about recognizing how important balance is. Yeah, you have discovering truth. You stand in the light of truth. Truly understanding. I feel like for some of you, that transformation card, you're understanding that perhaps now that Pluto is in Aquarius, that while Pluto was in Capricorn for 15 years, from 2008 until really about this year, it's kind of like that energy of understanding that Capricorn is all about you have to work hard and the energy of be the first one in the office and the last one to leave. The one that works the hardest will earn the most, It's that type of thing where you're kind of like, what? I'm not sure I believe that. That may be true for some people, but I'm not sure that's true for me. And you see, this is like you, and there's, these two people over here, and to me, at least one of them looks older, right? It's kind of like, that could have been the mindset that maybe you grew up in, or that could be the mindset of Pluto in Capricorn, right? But you're saying, no, wait a minute, that's not the focus of my life, or perhaps it's even changing. I'm not not working just to create financial abundance. What I want is fulfillment. I want purpose. I want to come away at the end of the day, not just earning money, but also feeling like I've made an impact. I've made a change in the world. Yeah, Wombat Spirit, be at home. You know, we had the new moon in Cancer. Thank you to so many of you that I misspoke and said it was the new moon in Gemini on Sunday for your weekly reading. It is the new moon in Cancer, and it's kind of like allowing the emotions around this new moon, because Cancer is very water energy. Allowing yourself, if you're triggered, especially in your career and money sector or your life purpose sector at this time, asking yourself, okay, what's at the bottom of this? What is the truth? What am I discovering about myself? Understanding that I feel like you're changing, you're transforming. You have that transformation card, right? A new way of living emerges. It's kind of like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe I was following the crowd and believing that was the only way I could find abundance or happiness, success, or maybe that success was the only thing I needed to worry about, right? It's kind of like moving away from that. So let's see what we have here, and then we'll get into the tarot. Let's see where this is leading. Yeah, awakening, live in the moment. Looks very much like that transformation card too, right? It's the Phoenix rising. It's understanding, wait a minute. I think for some of you, Gemini, you're understanding, there's got to be an easier way to do this. Like maybe you have really and truly been overworking yourself, believing that the harder you work, the more hours that you put into the day, or even, you know, for some of you, if you have your own business, feeling like the business is your identity instead of understanding that your business is one part of your identity. Understanding that there's a lot that goes into who we are, right? It's not, you know, especially here in the United States, I feel like, you know, sometimes when you meet a person the first time, right, you go to a party or whatever, and you meet somebody, and then the first thing out of their mouth is, what do you do? Right? We're not human doers. We're human beings, right? It's kind of like how, you know, when we say, what do you do? We want some job title. So we kind of like fall into this identity of I am my job, instead of thinking, no, wait a minute, my job is one sector of who I am. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. So let's see where this is going. It's going in a really beautiful place. You have the Empress energy. See, right now you may be focused on, how do I increase? This is the increase card, right? How do I stay on this path and go towards what it is that I want? Okay, the house in the distance, right? And that house represents, that's so funny, the four of wands. Happy family, happy home, right? The four pillars, if you will, the four major sectors of your life. Asking yourself, what are the top four areas of my life that I would like to concentrate on, that I would like to increase? But it's not about saying one of them is your top priority. I think it's about understanding all four of them need to find some balance. If we concentrate just on our career and we allow our health to go to the side, or we don't spend any time with our family and friends, right? Then suddenly we can get to this point in our life where, okay, maybe our career is going well, but we have no family members that want to come to our birthday party. We have no friends at all, maybe, right? Our health is in shambles. And it's kind of like, okay, yeah, that was great. I climbed to the top of the corporate ladder, but what else do I have in my life? Yeah, this is the strength and the courage to see what you are attached to, right? The ideas. We have the attachment card here. What are you attached to? Asking yourself if you're having a hard time saying, yes, but Mary Sue, I have to hit this amount of money before I can enjoy my life and enjoy the things that I want to do. I have to hit a certain criteria before I can start dating or whatever it is, or traveling, or, I can't go on a vacation until I get the promotion. It's asking yourself, I think here's the thing, here's the key. You're concentrating on what you think is going to make you happy. You're concentrating on something, thinking that it's going to make you happy. But here's the thing. It's kind of like putting all your eggs in one basket and asking yourself, since we're asking about career and money, are you putting all of your eggs in one basket? Are you making your career your top priority in some way? Yeah, you have a tower moment coming in here. So let's look at this. There's something faded. It's kind of like listening to your intuition. And I'm telling you, look, you have the door to romance. Romance and the angel of love and blossoming abundance and carrying connections and man holding a heart. Okay, give me a moment there, right? That is a lot of love that is underneath. Asking yourself, why are you working so hard? It's almost like your heart is really wanting connections in your life. Connections with friends, connections with family, connections romantically, right? Perhaps better connections with the people that you even work with and spend a majority of your time. It's understanding you're hitting some kind of tower. You have this tower moment, okay? Don't fear the tower. The tower is helping you to find the clarity about what is truly important for you. I think for some of you, you want more joy in your life. It's kind of like, okay, I'm working really hard. Here I am. I'm taking action. I'm moving towards what it is that I think that I want. But there is this transformation. There's this epiphany. There's this moment where you recognize, wait a minute. I think I've put all my eggs in one basket, whatever that might mean. And that could be a part of your business, okay? Or a part of your career. Understanding that I feel like you're attached. You're thinking that you'll find success if you put all your time, your energy, your resources into one sector of either your life or your career and money sector. So it could be like, let's take money, okay? Like, I'm not an investment person at all. I'm not giving any financial advice, but it's kind of like if you went to a financial advisor, right? Most likely, and you said, here, let's say I have $1,000. You go and you say, okay, I have $1,000. I want to invest this $1,000. The financial advisor would probably say, well, let's put 300 here in this stock or investment. Let's put 300 over here and the remaining 400 over here. Let's diversify it, right? It's a little bit of understanding that maybe there's something that you've been doing, kind of like focusing on, attached to the idea that, no, I'm going to take the $1,000 and I'm going to put it all in one investment. And maybe that pays off. Maybe it does. Maybe it pays off really big, right? But maybe it wipes you out. There's the energy here of understanding that life isn't all about putting all of your eggs in one basket. It's about, okay, I don't want just a career. I also want to have a healthy body and a quick mind, right? I also want to have friends and family. I want to have romance in my life. But if you're not making room for those in your daily life and you're putting all of your time and energy, which is your eggs, putting all of that into the career pot, then there's no way that you can come towards what it is that your heart truly desires. Here you are. Your energy is leading you. This tower moment is leading you to understanding what a loving person you are. Perhaps part of it is thinking that if you've been struggling with self-worth, that the more money you make or the more you acquire or the harder you work, there's value that adds value to you. But here's the thing. It really isn't. It's about the way you're showing up in the world. It's the way that your smile lights up the room, right? It's the way that you bring joy into other people's lives. there's no monetary value given to that. And yet at the same time, it's kind of like that's when you're the happiest. And if you haven't found a lot of joy in your life lately, asking yourself, are you allowing yourself to feel joy? Are you allowing yourself to be in situations that will bring you joy, that help you to connect to other people that also bring you joy? Yeah, it's kind of like an interesting message because it's you're all tied up here. You're putting all your eggs in one basket. That's they just keep repeating that. It's time for a sudden change. You're deciding, I need to make any change. I need to have more balance in my life. If you haven't taken a vacation in a while, this is the energy of booking the vacation. Like this week with the new moon in Cancer, booking the vacation. We have a new moon. It's time for a new life. What emotions? Cancer is all about emotions and connections. What kind of emotions do you want to have during the day? You know, feelings of joy, feelings of purpose, feelings of connecting to other people, of bringing joy to other people. Well, what do you want other people to say about you? Are you showing up on a daily basis where people would be able to say that about you? Or are you still just like focusing, honing in on, some superficial prize? And this is the Pluto and Capricorn energy that's just kind of like trying to clean this out for you so that you can really and truly expand into that Pluto in Aquarius energy of saying, no, wait a minute, I have the strength and the courage to find it more of a sense of peace in my life, of joy, of awakening, of living in the moment, of seeing just how wonderful my life is. And I want to experience all of it, not just success in my career. Yeah, this is a fated moment. And I also feel like that for some of you, I know this is career money, but I feel like there's also this energy of you perhaps having this awakening moment. Maybe you're walking down the street and you see an older couple holding hands and just kind of like having smiles on their face and they're walking down the street and you're like, oh my gosh, I want that. I want someone to hold hands with. I want someone to enjoy this life with. I want someone to be able to be part of the joy that is in my life, right? And I want to be part of their joy. And it's this moment where you feel like you understand, wait a minute, I'm not on a path that's going to bring that in. I have to make some changes. I have to go in a new direction, right? I have to walk away from thinking if you do the same thing and expect different results, it's the definition of insanity, right? I think that's an Einstein quote. This is, wait a minute, I can't continue to do this. To live with this mindset that my career or money or success or, whatever that is going to bring me this sense of joy and happiness. The thing that brings me joy and happiness is that when I can be in loving connections and really and truly enjoy, have fun with people. It's almost like you're awakening again and saying, you know what, I only have one life. And, you can't really take that money with you. You can't take the material things that you acquire with you. I'm not saying they don't make life better in a way, right? And more enjoyable perhaps. But it is also kind of like, yeah, but I'm here to experience, to have my heart-to-heart connections with other people, not just to acquire things that can't talk back to me, that can't love me back, right? It's kind of like that I have to take care of. It's so interesting. And, I'm a Gemini, so I can kind of like relate to this, that it's time to start living. If you have been feeling like you've been taking life a little seriously, or that you have been setting such high parameters for a romantic connection to come into your life, okay? It's understanding, okay, why am I doing that? right? Why am I focusing on my career? Why is this so important to me? It's kind of resisting those other areas of your life because perhaps you've had a lot of painful experiences in relationships, right? But you're a different person. You have the transformation card all over the place, right? You truly are understanding, okay, those people had to leave your life and you had to go on this journey of being perhaps a hermit. This is the Virgo energy, hermit energy. You had to go on this path to learn who you really and truly are, to value yourself, to learn to truly appreciate and love yourself. But now you're also saying, I'm ready to open and have more balance in my life. Even if you're not looking for romance at this time, it's about having more balance in your life. And to get back to your career and money, that means what changes do you have to make in your career? And going back to some of those first messages I was getting, how can you work differently? It's not about working harder. It's about understanding, do I need to hire some people to help me? Do I need to delegate some work? Do I need to change my expectations of what it is that I think I'm supposed to show up as at work, or how much money I think I need, right? Is the amount of money, is there a specific reason why you're choosing? If you're like wanting to hit a certain threshold of money, right? Asking yourself, what's so important about that? There's something that you're tied to. You're kind of like holding on to some belief. And by allowing yourself to let go of that belief, you also are creating a whole new world for yourself that's more joyful, has more purpose. It doesn't mean that you're not working. It just means that you're making time in your schedule, in your day, for connections, perhaps a romantic connection, right? Your health, enjoying your home, traveling. It's kind of like, what is really important? Take a look at your calendar. If you're like me and you write down everything on your calendar, take a look at your calendar. Is your calendar full of work-related items, or is your calendar more balanced? It has work-related items on it, okay? But it also has things on there where you're enjoying time with people in your life, family, friends, romantic, you're traveling, you're experiencing life. Those things that bring you happiness and joy. Are those on your calendar? And if they're not, this new moon in Cancer is asking you to book them, right? To put them on your calendar. I actually and truly, I mean, honestly, this is hard for me because as Geminis, we can get super focused on something and it's kind of like, yeah, I'm just going to work on that, right? So I actually sit down on Sunday and I allot the time, right? I block it off for my friends, for my family, for my granddaughter, for the activities that I enjoy. I enjoy hiking, right? It's about blocking those out, making those as important to you as your career. Don't allow the career to fill up the whole calendar and then say, well, I really don't have any time the rest of this week to work out or to spend time with friends and family. So I'll do it next week, because next week will never come. And I think you had that in a reading not too long ago. All right, let's pull some. Yeah, wow. Woo. Okay, Gemini. This is really kind of interesting. Your life purpose cards, and keep in mind, this is the energy that you bring to your life, usually through your career or volunteer activities, but you have leadership and builder. I think that what you're understanding is that there's something that you're shifting. You're shifting your energy to saying, I'm no longer following, okay? I'm going to be a leader. I'm going in my own direction. Now, for some of you, that could be starting your own career, your own business. For others of you, it could be shifting and going to a different career. For some of you, it could mean I'm retiring. Right? It's kind of like this energy. I have to go in a different direction because you're being called. I no longer want to follow the pack and follow the mindset of either what you have been taught to believe or just following the pack, right? Following your peers or your family or what they want for you. There's something you're meant to build. And the builder says your innate ability to build and create brings you a deep sense of accomplishment. Now I'm going to ask you, okay, to kind of reflect on that, especially around this new moon in Cancer. Because we have the Leo energy showing up, and Leo season is right around the corner. And then we have the Lion's Gate, and that is on August 8th. So just about a month from now, we have Lion's Gate. Very auspicious time, okay? Cancer season is all about really getting back to the heart of what it is that you want, your desires, in all areas of your life, not just career and money. The Leo season is where you have the courage to take action on your desires. I feel like for the next 2 or 3 weeks, you're really kind of tuning into what it is that your heart truly desires. What is the big picture of your life look like? Is it balanced? And if it's not balanced, asking yourself those difficult questions of how can I balance it, right? How can I walk away from what the crowd is doing and build something that really, and I think for a lot of you is building your life, building your dream life, but understanding you can't build your dream life by following the template that you already are using, right? Because that template has not brought you to your dream life. Your template is not working. Here's your template, okay? You're turning and you're walking away. You're discovering the truth. My template isn't working. I need to make some changes in my life. And you don't have to make these right away. I think that it is kind of interesting because we have the Knight of Wands here. It's about understanding, I think around the Lion's Gate portal, you are going to have some major awakening. This tower could really be around the Lion's Gate time. Understanding that you're tapping into what it is that you're really and truly meant to do. And look at what you have. You had speaker and spiritual teacher. Okay, I'm trying to get those to focus. There we go. Okay, so the speaker says your life purpose involves your skills of oration, and spiritual teacher, you heal with your classes, sessions, and seminars. It's almost like asking yourself, how can you reach more people and do less work? It's that very much that energy, depending on what your gifts are. And for some of you, this is very spiritual. You could be building, if you've been thinking about building a spiritual business, this would be a great time to start putting that into action, right? Or especially around the Lion's Gate. It may take you some time to kind of think it out, plan it out. It gives you about a month, and then really and truly putting it out there. Because this is an energy of understanding that if you allow yourself to work with the spirit realm or use your spiritual gifts as far as being able to build a business, right? It's almost like brings you more of a sense of purpose. You're more in alignment with where you are wanting to go. Okay, now I'm going to also pull some business cards. Now, keep in mind, especially if some of you are thinking about starting your own business or have your own business, how these might actually relate to you. Let's see what we have. Okay, we have inspire and build. You are meant to build something. Gemini, really take some time. What are you meant to build? And I don't think it's just building. Remember that 4 corners, the 4 wands. It's the 4 pillars. What kind of life do you want to build? And in that, you may be also building a business. But even in the building of a business, break that down. How do you keep that balanced? If you think about it, you wouldn't put, if you were building a business, you wouldn't put all your time and energy into just buying. Say you were going to create spiritual jewelry, okay? So you wouldn't go out and just buy all these materials, right? You also have to produce. You also have to design. You also have to market. You also have to fulfill orders, right? You have to, all those different aspects. So it's kind of like understanding, okay, there's a lot there. It's not just about making some jewelry, right? It's about understanding there's a lot of process there. Looking at the different aspects of both your life and perhaps your business, and asking yourself, how can I make it easier on myself? I think there's something here where you're being asked to take a look at capturing perhaps some type of having a better connection with an audience of some sort, okay? Whoever your clients may be or your customers, asking yourself, how can I create that? And at the same time, not work so hard. You may have to delegate. You may have to hire some people. You may have to simplify. Maybe there's something about simplifying. And then you have inspire. Okay, you really are truly meant to inspire. When you become influential in your field, you inspire people to step into their own greatness because you rose to your own first, which is very much this leadership, right? You can't become a leader unless, it is kind of like understanding, right? You may have been part of the group, but now you're going and you're starting your own group. Really interesting. Like you could have been part of the pack, but now you're understanding. You could have been part of a corporation. Now I'm going and I figured it out. I'm going to go do it on my own. Some type of energy where I think you are kind of trying to do it on your own. And then you have balance, right? And it says, manifest amazing business results by staying in balance. Work hard, but take breaks to get back into ease and flow. Feel the joy as you work. Right? Work is a 4-letter word. Try to make it fun. And then you have conquer. You have the strength to overcome all challenges on your path to emotional and financial freedom. Keep going and be unstoppable. Really beautiful energy. Try to get there. We go. Okay, so it really is about having balance. If you think about it, I've done these rock walls before. You have to have a lot of balance and strength. Right? You have to have the strength in order to balance out your life. And you have the strength card here, Angel of Strength. It's about having the strength to say no to some things that you think maybe are the top priority. It's about bringing balance. I think it's kind of interesting because I think for so long, like we've been focusing on prioritizing, what are the top 3 things you have to get done today? Okay, I'm not knocking that, but it is a little bit about understanding, wait a minute, if I want to have a balanced life, what are the it's kind of like, what do I need to do to stay in that balance? That becomes your priority. Carving out the time for your physical health, right? For your spirituality, for your connections with other people, the experiences that you would like to have. Understanding, if you sit there and the old mentality, right, of you work 50 years or whatever, right, and then you retire and then you can have fun, right? I mean, that's what, my grandparents really grew up with, my parents even, right? It's kind of like you work till 65, you work really, really hard till 65, and then guess what? You can go play golf. But up until then, you got to work really hard. Well, that's not what life is all about. Life is about enjoying those little moments, right? Living in the moment. Understanding there is joy in every single moment in our lives if we allow ourselves to find it. That's another key. Okay, let's pull a soul truth card for you. And Gemini, I do personal readings. So if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I really would be so honored to do a reading for you. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Does my life have more pleasure, more room for pleasure and play? There you go. That is what this whole reading is about. It's about seeing, discovering that your life, if you're resonating with this, is your life in balance? And if it's not, right? sitting down and asking yourself, okay, what's really important to me? My health, my connections, my work, okay? My traveling, my experiences, my hobbies, whatever is in that, right? Or whatever is important. You're four. Choosing those four sectors and then making sure that every single day you're touching on each of those. That it's not all in one sector, that it is spread out. There is more balance. Okay, so let's see what this says. In what area are you lacking pleasure right now? Maybe in certain relationships or with work. Is it possible to shift the seriousness of life to experiencing a more creative, wild, and playful side of you? What would happen if you added more play and laughter into your life? What area is lacking this right now? Take time to play, let go of any need to produce anything. That's what I was saying earlier, right? When people ask us, what do we do, right? It's about, what do you produce? Okay? Life isn't about producing. Life is about experiencing. Life is about joy, happiness, laughter, connections with other people, experiences of seeing, the beautiful nature in our earth, of having those, of meeting people from different cultures and really enjoying that experience, of seeing the good in other people, right? This is and it's just a Pluto and Capricorn. It got us into this really serious energy, right? And it's time to break free of that and say, yeah, that worked maybe for a while, but I'm not living with that anymore. I'm going in a new direction and I'm finding better balance in my life. All right, well, I'm going to leave it there. It is so good to see you. Thank you so much for all of your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.